You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Glad you can join me right here on another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your Friday. We made it. We're at the end of the week. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page to get in contact with the show for any comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. All right. So I wanted to, we've seen what happened, but before I get into that with LaMarcus Aldridge, what happened yesterday with his sudden retirement, I came across something that was, I didn't realize this. Your head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin, I had no idea he had never had a losing season as a head coach. But this little tidbit, listen to the guys he's lost to in the playoffs. David Garrard. If you guys don't remember him, remember, he was the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He lost to Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. So is that the one that Tim Tebow had like the big, what was it? It was like a 60-yard touchdown scramble to knock him out the playoff. Was that? That had to be it. Because he only got one real shot in Denver before they shipped him off to the New York Jets. And then he also lost to Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles, yeah. But I just wanted to put that out there. I'd never seen this before. I couldn't believe that he had never had a losing season, but those three quarterbacks he had lost to in the playoffs. All right. So let's get to the real reason why we're here today. LaMarcus Aldridge, one of my favorite players when he was with the Portland Trail Blazers. Didn't care so much for him when he went to the Spurs. But that's neither here nor there. Brooklyn Nets center LaMarcus Aldridge announced on Twitter that he is retiring from the NBA after experiencing an irregular heartbeat during his final appearance with the team. He went on to say that 15 years I've put basketball first, and now it's time for me to put my health and family first. Now, Aldridge, who is 35 years old, said that he experienced the irregular heartbeat during the Nets game against the Lakers on Saturday, after which his condition had worsened. Now, he went on to also say that the next morning, he told the team what was going on, and they were great at getting him to a hospital. And although he feels better now, what he felt with his heart that night against the Lakers was still one of the scariest things that he had ever experienced. Now, I saw that he had been dealing with some health issues before, dating all the way back to like 2006, 2007. This isn't his first health scare. And look, the guy played 15 years in the league, and winning a championship isn't everything. I'm not one of those people that say, you can't get into the Hall unless you win a title. I'm not one of those people. I believe you can be one of the best of all time and never win a title. It just, sometimes it works out that way. Look at Dan Marino. Look at Mitch Richmond. So, but that's not to say that LaMarcus Aldridge will get into the Hall of Fame. Personally, I don't think he is a Hall of Fame player. Great player, great career. But I think once he left Portland, those Hall of Fame chances kind of went out the window. He just didn't really fit into what San Antonio really wanted from him. I'm not sure what transpired between him and Popovich, because in Portland, he was putting up 22, 23, and 10 a night, and then he kind of fell off a little bit going to San Antonio. And remember, like after the first 2 years in San Antonio, I believe he played 5 years in San Antonio. Remember, after the first 2 years, he asked for a trade. He wanted out of there. He didn't like Pop's system. He felt he didn't fit it. But his numbers suffered playing in Pop system. And for his career, he finishes his 15-year career averaging 19 points, 8 boards a game, playing in 1,029 career total games. 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA player. Like I said, great player, but he's not going to make the Hall. You will remember him if you know basketball. You know basketball, you will remember LaMarcus Aldridge. And I must say, me being an NBA 2K guy, LaMarcus Aldridge had one of the greatest jump shots on 2K. Now, his jump shot in real life is pretty automatic as well. You know, he has a great mid-range game. And on 2K, he was awesome at the mid-range. I want to say going back to like 2K11, 2K12, probably all the way up to 2K16. LaMarcus Aldridge was that's the shot you want on 2K. So, look, LaMarcus Aldridge, my thoughts, my opinions. He did what he had to do for his health. I'm not mad at it. I understand it. You know, you can't be mad at a guy who was looking out for his health, and I believe he has kids as well. So, look, happy trails. I wish Aldridge the best of luck in his future endeavors and with his health. And I hope he sees many more days. You know, basketball, he was a great player. It's not always about winning a championship. I'm sure he's made enough money that can last him for an eternity, you know. So, happy trails. Great career, LaMarcus Aldridge. I enjoyed watching you, and I am wishing you the best in retirement. All right, so let's jump into this day in sports history. April 16th, 2003, the Washington Wizards, my favorite player, Michael Jordan, plays his final NBA game in Philadelphia, where he receives a 3-minute standing ovation. Shout out to my guy, Michael Jordan, one of my favorite players of all time, other than Penny Hardaway. Those are my two guys. Jordan, Penny, stop right there. Hey, I don't know about you guys, but it is Friday. We've made it to the end of the week. I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I am going to have a cigar. I am going to have a glass of whiskey. So, unfortunately, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page to get in contact with the show for any comments or suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.